Today, we are going deep, deep underground to explore a place that just boggles the mind. It's the Ħal Saflieni Hypogeum, an entire prehistoric world carved out of solid rock, and it was built thousands of years before anyone even dreamed of the pyramids.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What could be hiding right under our feet? Well, for one small, unsuspecting town in Malta, the answer to that question was more incredible than anyone could have possibly imagined.
And this is it. Now, what you're looking at, that's not a movie set. It's a real, subterranean sanctuary and, get this, a burial site, a necropolis, that was in use thousands and thousands of years ago. We're talking about a place of almost unbelievable importance, both architecturally and historically.
Even the name itself kind of tells the story. Hypogeum. It comes from the Greek words for under and earth, so it literally just means underground. It's such a simple word for a place of staggering complexity. A man-made cave system that we're still trying to fully wrap our heads around. But you know, maybe the most incredible part of this whole story is that for millennia, humanity just completely forgot it existed. Its rediscovery wasn't some grand archaeological expedition. No, it was a complete and total accident. Just try to wrap your mind around this timeline. It was used for about 1,500 years, then it lay silent and hidden for over 4,000 years before some workers just stumbled upon it in the 20th century. The scale of time is just, wow.
So how did it happen? Not with some ancient treasure map, but with a pickaxe. See, in 1902, a construction crew was just digging a cistern, basically a well for some new houses, and then suddenly, their tools just punched right through the ground into empty space.
And here's where the story gets a little bit, well, human. Instead of shouting from the rooftops about their world-changing discovery, the workers actually tried to hide it. They were probably worried the job would get shut down. Can you believe it? Thankfully, word eventually got out, and the true scale of what they'd found started to come to light.
But unfortunately, the initial excavation was a complete disaster. Priceless artifacts, human remains, they were just cleared out and thrown away. And to make matters so much worse, the priest who was leading the first proper study died suddenly, and his detailed report, it was lost forever. This means our knowledge of this incredible place started off with these huge, unfixable gaps.
But even with that rocky start, what archaeologists eventually uncovered was nothing short of an architectural marvel. So come on, let's take a journey down through its 3 distinct levels.
This old site map gives you a pretty good sense of the layout. You see, it's not just one big cave. It's a complex, multi-story structure. Each level was dug deeper and deeper into the earth, and each one seems to have served a different purpose over time.
Okay, so we're starting at the top, which is actually the oldest part of the whole complex. This level dates as far back as 4000 BC. I mean, that is truly, truly ancient.
This first level is sitting just a meter or so below the modern street. It probably started as a natural cave that people then expanded. And this is where we find the very first burial chambers, the beginning of this vast city of the dead.
But then, as we head down to the middle level, things change dramatically. This is where the Hypogeum goes from being a simple tomb to a genuine work of art. The craftsmanship on this level is just extraordinary. I mean, the builders weren't just digging, they were sculpting. They carved doorways, windows, even pillars out of the solid rock, all to copy the freestanding stone temples that existed on the surface. Now, why would they go to all that trouble? It really suggests a deep belief system, right? Like they were trying to build a permanent stone house of eternity for the dead that looked just like the sacred spaces of the living.
This middle level has some of the most famous and mysterious rooms, like the main chamber, the Holy of Holies, and the decorated room. But we're going to zero in on one with a truly unique feature.
It's called the Oracle Room. It's a pretty small chamber, but it has this incredible secret. A little niche carved into the wall has these amazing acoustic properties. If you make a low humming sound in there, the resonance is so powerful it vibrates right through your bones and echoes through the entire complex. Just imagine the power that would have in an ancient ritual.
All right, let's head down to the lowest level. This is the end of the line, and you know what? It's also the most mysterious.
So unlike the other levels that were packed with the remains of the dead, archaeologists found this level completely empty. No bones, no pottery, 0 clues. And that means we have absolutely no idea what it was for. Was it just unfinished? Was it for some other kind of ritual? It is a complete mystery.
But you know, the architecture, as amazing as it is only half the story. Now we need to talk about what and who was actually found inside these chambers.
7,000. That is the estimated number of people whose remains were laid to rest here over the centuries. This wasn't just a tomb, it was a communal burial place on an almost industrial scale.
And among all those remains, they found this little figure. This is the Sleeping Lady of Malta, and it's probably the most famous artifact ever found at the site. Is she a priestess, a mother goddess, a symbol of eternal sleep? We really don't know, but her serene beauty is just undeniable.
And then there's this puzzle. While most of the thousands of skulls found look totally normal, a small number of them had this really strange artificial elongation. We've seen this practice in other ancient cultures, but it just raises so many questions. Who were these people? Were they part of a special priestly class, maybe marked from birth for some sacred role? It's honestly one of the Hypogeum's most fascinating mysteries.
So, after being lost for millennia, then found by accident, and only partially understood, what's the fate of the Hypogeum today?
Just 80. That's it. That is the maximum number of people allowed to visit the Hypogeum each day. Why? Because the site is incredibly fragile. The very breath of visitors, the light, the changes in temperature, all of it can damage the delicate red paintings and the limestone itself. Protecting this place is a massive challenge.
This photo just illustrates the contrast perfectly. From the street, it's just a normal-looking building. You would never, ever know that just a few meters beneath your feet lies one of the most important prehistoric sites on the entire planet, a direct link to our Neolithic ancestors.
You know, we've learned so much, but it really feels like we've barely scratched the surface. Those empty rooms, the elongated skulls, the real meaning of the paintings, it just leaves you wondering, right? After 6,000 years, what other secrets are these silent, ancient stones still waiting to tell us?